Welcome champions to Python scripting for data sciences, part 7 of the series. So today we'll be starting with a fresh thing. We are done with lists, tuples, strings, integers and whatnot. So we'll see a few more things today in Python, right? And then, okay, so we had that previous question also, what's formatting. So I asked you what is formatting as well. So we'll go through the answers as well, right? So we are now done with okay, we're done with integers, lists. We're done with tuples as well, right? So let me tell you what formatting is. So if I say formatting, let's say about number. So I'll say number num1 is equal to, I can ask the user, hey user, you mind if you provide me number 1? So I'll say enter number 1, all right, or number 1. All right, so whatever user enters will go to this num1 variable, right? And now we can take num2. Whatever user enters will finally go to this num2 variable, right? So since we are going to deal with we can say addition, subtraction, right? So we'll try and parse, right? Parse means convert. So we try and convert the input to integer, because everything that is taken from input or anything that's taken from the user as an input is taken as string. We have to explicitly, means manually, right, convert it to int. Now how do you convert things to int? By calling the function int, right? So by calling the function int and passing what you have to convert, passing that string as a parameter here. Now what are we passing here? We're passing this input number as a parameter. This is the first thing that we can do. Or the second thing that we want to do is, I can still do this. I can say, hey, num1 will be reassigned with int of num1. We can do this as well, and I can say num2 is going to be reassigned with int of num2. So what is happening here? All right, so what are we doing here? You know that it is a container. Yeah, we know it's a container, but apart from this being a container, it's also a variable. Variable means it varies, so it works from right hand side to left hand side. So I will take num1 has a string that user has inputted, right? Okay, so now I take that input from the user and I convert it to int and give it back to num1, right? It's an assignment operator. Assignment takes place from right hand side to left hand side, right hand side to left hand side. So now if I want to print this, so I will say print, right? And now I can say, now see, I'll say something like this, the sum of, right? So I will use the sum of 0 and 1. So I'll say the sum of 0 and 1 is 2. Now what is this 0 and what is this 1 and what is this 2? So you'll see that as soon as I click on dot format, so I say format this string, because this is a string, you entered this in quotes. I want this string to be formatted. So that's why I asked you the question what format is. Format means, right, so it means basically filing up the things, right, or arranging things in a particular order, right? So now what is the 0, 1 and 2? Now the sum of 0, which is going to be num1. So num1, because we are using curly braces here, is going to be the 0th element of the format, since it is going to go to this 0. And num2 is since going to be the second element right here, and now it is going to go to this 2. So this num1 will go to 0. Why? Because it's the 0th element of dot format. And 2 will go to, num2 will go to 1. Why? Because after 0 comes 1. Now you need 2. So what is that 2 going to be? Alright, so 2 I can say it is going to be num1 plus num2. So num1 plus num2 right, will go to this 2, num1 will go to this. So let me see the answer first. Okay, I have something unexpected or a literal brace to be closed. Right, enter num1, I'll say 10, enter num2, 20. Now you can see the sum of 10 and 20 is 30. So now it's very good. Or now we can either say it like this: sum is equal to, or we can say total is equivalent to num1 plus num2. So this is also possible that we can say total is equivalent to num1 plus num2. So now here I will use total. Now what is happening here? You are calling 0, 1 and 2, right? So now the first element that you're passing in format is going to go to this 0, the second is going to go to 1, and the third is going to go to 2. So the more elements, the more numbers you can increase. Right? So this is how we start with formatting. And the third thing that I said, that we can reduce the amount of memory consumed while doing this, or we can reduce this process. Why don't we directly, when we take input, why don't we directly convert that input to int? Because we're taking that input from the user, right? Why don't we convert it thereby? So right, so we can convert it thereby. So now this is not required. Now total instead of total. Why don't I use an extra variable total? I don't have to. Why don't I pass instead of total? Why don't I pass num1 plus num2? So this is going to do the same thing right here, 10 plus 20. So the sum of 10 and 20 is 30, right? As simple as anything. And I said because it is always better you instead of int, if you could use float. Why? Because if I try and give floating variables, so it is going to cause an error, right? You can see, right? Because you're converting input. Whenever you're taking an input, you're converting it to int. So floating point values will never be converted to, or can never be converted to int, right? Floating representation or floating point values, they cannot be converted to, or they can never be converted to int, right? 1/2, you get an error. So that's why I said it's always better to use float, right, instead of int. Float is always going to calculate integer values, and it's also going to calculate float values. The sum of 10.0 and 20.0 is 30.0. You can even say 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3.0. The sum of 1.5 and 1.5 is 3.0. So this is how you format. It's just the beginning of things where we learn formatting. Formatting is going to be a huge topic in Python, right? And for that, I need you to be very patient. I know you're very patient. You're very enthusiastic, and you are very, very, very much could say intelligent, or I can say patient, right, or maybe hardworking, who knows. But yeah, since you come so far till part number 7, right, since you come near to part number 7, so that means there is aspiration and passion in you. What I want at the end of the day is you carry on, right? You carry on that aspiration, you carry on that passion, right? Till the last class, and after that also, right? Okay. So now this is how your format works. Now, what is the precedence, right? And now, what precedence does? So I write the question here. Don't worry. Don't worry. What precedence does the Python follow? Or precedence, like we had BODMAS. Now here what we are having, we have PEM, PEMDAS. So this is the precedence of Python program. PEMDAS. I repeat, PEMDAS. Just like BODMAS, it's PEMDAS. Right? So that PEMDAS means, number one, it is. So the first thing that is going to be executed is parenthesis. So second is exponentation, and third multiplication, and fourth is going to be division, and fifth is going to be subtraction, right? So now this is the precedence that Python follows. Parentheses, exponentation, multiplication, division, and subtraction. P, E, M, D, and AS, PEMDAS, right? I forgot 5 is going to be addition, addition, and 6 is going to be, so P, E, M, D, A, S, PEMDAS, right? So that is the precedence of Python that Python follows. Let me show you some demonstration about that precedence, right? How does Python follow the same precedence, right? For that, I'll go to shell, Python shell. I will say, hey, I need a round. So you can see, I need round of 5 by 7, right? Now you're getting 1. If I say 5 divided by 7, so you will get 0.7. So 0.7 is round about 1. So it's round about 1. So that's why I say round. It's going to give me the nearest number. 0.71 has nearest 1. So nearest is 1. So I'll say 5 divided by 7. So now you can see we're getting 1, right? And now if I do round off, what is going to happen first? So I'll say 5, right, divided by 2, comma 2, right? And now you are this basically 2 means how many zeros you want to show. For example, if I do, so this 5 divided by 2, so if I just say 5 divided by 2, I'm getting 2.5. Sorry. If I now say, let me show you this using some other thing. So let me say 9, 8. So I'll say I need to get a round, R-O-U-N-D, round of 98, 679, some number. So I will say divided by 2. Now this is the number you're getting, 49340. Right? So now you're getting roundabout. Now if you want to get decimal number, right, you can say, no, I need to get 2 decimal number, right? So now you will get 2 decimal number, 49339.5. It's a roundabout 0.5, right? So now if I just divide it directly, you can see it's exactly 0.5, right? So that's what roundabout is going to show us, right? So 49340 is roundabout 49339.5. So that's what you can do, right? So I'll show you again. So the second parameter is decimal, right? So you can say 3, so you're still getting 2, so you don't have the third one, right? Now, for example, if I just type something else, now you can see that you're getting roundabout. Now if I don't give this, so you're going to get round of, let's say round is here. If I don't give this 2 right here, so we're going to get 4,000, or we can say 49,000, or we can say 49340, right? So now how much is 49339.5? It's around about 40. Now if you want second decimal also, you can pass this number that I wanted to be 2 decimal, right? Or means before the decimal and after the decimal, right? So that's what we can work. So now parentheses, right, will work, and then this will work, and then this will work. That's, as I said, PEMDAS, right? So first 5 plus 5 will work, and then 5 minus 5 will work, and then multiplication will happen. So if you follow PEMDAS, first parenthesis, that is 5 plus 5, but we have 2 parentheses. Which parenthesis will be first executed? Plus. Why? Because plus comes before subtraction. You can see PEMDAS, addition comes before subtraction, and parenthesis on top of every single thing, right? Now it's going to be 10, and 5 minus, let's say 10 minus 5 is going to be 5. So it's going to be 10 into 10 minus 10, 5. So we should get 50, right? Yeah, we're getting 50. So now this is how your PEMDAS is going to work, right? So I hope you understood it, or you understand it actually in a much better way, because you already know it maybe BODMAS is known to us, right, from 10th class, so we don't have to worry about that, right? Okay, let's understand few more string manipulations. For example, if I make a string, all right, and let me call this as str, and it is going to be hello. All right, so now you already know this string manipulation. I can say str, all right, hello, because string is a collection of characters, so every character represents a single byte. All right, so I can say 0 and then we're getting h, right? So you already know that, right? And if I say str minus 1, it means the end character, so this is going to be 0. So you're already aware of all those things, right? So now I'll show you a few more things. I can say this string str dot, so I can say string dot capitalize. Now what is going to happen when I say capitalize? Okay, let me copy this. So let me show you. Str is equivalent to, right, hello, how are you? Hope you are all fine. Now I can say str dot capitalize. The moment I say str dot capitalize, now you can see every, no, capitalize has not worked. Why has it worked? ZE capitalize should work. Yeah, it has to capitalize the first character. So let me first again, okay, let me have it like this only. Let me not have the big string here. So we have small h here, so now we can say str. If I print str has small h, and the moment I say str dot capitalize, now you can say it has converted small h to big H, right? Capitalize is going to convert the first, we can say, word or the first character of the entire word to capital. Now you can even say str dot upper, right? You can say UPP, you can say str dot upper. Now upper will convert every single thing to uppercase, HELLO. See, capitalize, now this is your real string. Capitalize has converted the first character of the string to capital, and upper has converted all the characters of the string to uppercase. Now if you want to convert it back, so I can say U is equivalent to str dot uppercase. Now if I print U, I'm getting capital hello. Now what if I want to convert it back? So I'll say LOWER, so I can say lower. Now I'm converting it back to lowercase. So lower, upper, capitalize, right, is there. That capitalize will take the first, and upper will take all, and capitalize all, and lower is going to lower down and convert the bold letters to low letters, right? And we have few more things that we need to learn regarding string manipulations in Python. And string manipulations in Python is a real magic, right? I just love string manipulations in Python, right? So it gives me a real fun. For example, I say, hey, I want to count how many characters are in the string. Would you please tell me the number of characters in the string? So I'll say str dot count, right? So it's as simple as anything. I'll say str dot count, right? Now I will, okay, count takes one argument, so I'll say str. So str has HELLO. I will say str dot count. Please give me, right, the number of times L is repeated. L is repeated, right, in the, we can say, in the entire string, right? So we can say L is repeated 2 times in an entire string. You can clearly see 1 and 2. Now will you please give me the count of O in entire string? So O is 1 times, right? So this is how you can find str.count. I want to find number of times L is written 2 times. I want to find number of times O is written. We are getting 1 time, right? And more we can do. For example, I want to say, let's say str is equivalent to hello, how are you? right, and what is your name, right? So now this is your str. If I say str dot count, right, so I will say I want to count a. Now, okay, sorry, it's count, right, not count. Okay, let me copy this. All right, so we have this here. I'll say str dot count a. I want to see the number of times a is used, 4. Now you can clearly count a1, right? We have 2, 3, 4. Number of times a is written, 4. So now we can even say str dot, we can use str dot count to find a, but I say from 0, which is the 0th character, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll say go to 0 to 15, right, and find a starting from 0th character and going till 15th character. Now you can say 1 time. From 0 to 15 times, we have from the 0th character to the 15th character, a is written 1 times. Now you can find 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now how many times? These are 15 characters here. How many times do you find a here? Only 1 times at the beginning of R. A is here, so that's what we are getting answer as, right? So you can say str dot count, let's say about h, right, from 0 to 20. 0, 20. Starting from 0 to 20, we get 1, only 1 time. This is capital H, right? So it's not going to be counted because we are searching for small h. Now you can go till 20 here, so you can see h is only written once right here. So this is how you can check, different things, right? Or you want to say that I want to use the entire. I want to count the length here. What is the length of this str? I will say, wait a second, I will count the length of str. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait a second, am I wasting my time? Why do you need to count it? You can straightforward say, hey, I want to get len. Len is an inbuilt function which is used to get the length of any object. So I say, I want to get the length of string, so that is 39. So how many characters are used in string? 39. The length of string is 39. Now I can say, hey, wait a minute, str dot count, right, from 10 or from 0 and to full string. I want to count full string. So please find a starting from 0 but going till the end of string. So how do you go to the end of string? By typing lenstr, so that you don't have to count. This way you don't have to count the entire string. So now you're getting 4. Is it typed for 4 times? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 times, right here, right? So now what is this lenstr going to do? Length is a function. It takes one argument, which is the string, right? I'll show you again. Length is a function. It takes one argument, which is this string. Or you can even say, I want to get the length of hello. It's one and the same thing. So you'll get 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 means total 5 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's no problem. Or you can do this, h is equivalent to hello world. And then, I can say h is equivalent to hello world, right? Okay, help world. So I'll write it down here. H is equivalent to hello world, right? So you can say h is equivalent to hello world, and you can say length of h. It's as good as typing, right? Because length takes one argument. Always remember that the function length is an inbuilt function of Python that takes one argument. That is the string. You can either give h or you can directly say, hey, I want to find length of hello, please give me length of hello. So you'll get it like this as well. So that's why I said, for example, my str has this, hello, how are you and what is your name? So would you please try and do the count? I want to count, right, number of times O is used, but starting from 0, and now you don't know the string, and you're starting from 0, I know you're starting from this edge, but what about what is the complete length here, right? Imagine if it is dynamic, do I have to count every time? I'll say no, you need not to count it. Please make it dynamic. Count the length of str. If it decreases, length also decreases. If it increases, it also increases. So O is for 4 times, right? So now if I use the same here, right? So that is also going to be possible. So let me use it here. So I will use the same here. So I will say str is equivalent to, okay, so let me use the same. Hello, how are you, and what is your name? So I'll be using the same, right? So now this gives me luxury of increasing and decreasing, right? So I will say, right, C is equivalent to count, and I can use print C, which is, now I'm printing count. So I'm getting 4, right? So that's absolutely no problem. So I will say, and how are you, right? So now, because the length has automatically increased, I don't have to manually count the length. Now it is 6. Why? Because I am counting the length of str, which will automatically increase. Now we have increased, and how are you? O is increased for 2 times, we're getting 6. You can manually decrease it as well, right? Because you're counting the length. Length is now automatically adjustable. Now what? Right? So in this manner, you have been able to make this column or this argument of the count function as dynamic, right? Because you don't have to manually count the length. You say automatically and dynamically count the length of the string, right? Which means if it increases, the length increases here, or if it decreases, the length also decreases here. So this is how we find the length, right? So now we have many built-in string methods, like we have count, we have find, all right? Find is also there. So for example, if I say, now let me just get rid of this count here. So I can say C is equivalent to, right? So we have this find as well here. I can say this, that I want to find something, right? So let's say about C is equivalent to, just a moment, dot find. So I will say str dot find, right? So now I can use C is equivalent to, because str dot find returns a new string that will go to C, and I'm printing C. Now what do you want to find? I want to find, let's say about U, right? I want to find U starting from 0, and end is going to be the length of str, which is automatic, right? So we're going to start from 0, and I'm going to take the complete and entire length of this string, which is, so the length of string is going to be total number of characters in this string, starting from 0, and end is the total number of characters in the string. So that's it. Now what are you finding? You're finding U. So let me see, is it found? Yeah, 14. Now you can see, right? Oh, we can straightforward go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it is at the 14th spot, U. Y starts at the 14th spot. Now we can say, okay, I want to get and, right, or C. Let's say we have or let's say we have something else here. We will say C blue and C is blue, right? So I have to find is now. So let me find is. Now I'll just compile it, and is it at the 17th position? Now you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now you can see I is starting at the 17th position. This is how str.find is going to help you. str.count is going to count the number of times. I'll write it down for you, don't worry. So I'll just delete it here. Alright, so now string. So that's the string manipulations. So some important, some built-in, some BUILT, some built-in string functions, right? So what are those built-in string functions? So number one is going to be, right, str. Okay, what is this? I don't know. So number one is going to be str dot, so string dot capitalize, and the number two is going to be str dot find, right? So it is going to be string, whatever string you have to find, right? And start and end, right? Start of the string and end of the string, right? Capitalize is going to take string, whatever you have to capitalize, so it's automatically going to capitalize, right? Returns a new string, right? So capitalize returns a new string with first, right, character, with first character, I write it down here, returns a new character with first, right, the first character is capitalized, or we can say with character, first character, so I'll just write it down here. So with first character of a word being capitalized, right? So now it is also going to return a new function, right? So string dot find, it determines if the string occurs in a string, right? So I'll write it down here for string, right? It determines if string, right, str, any string occurs in string. So it determines whether any string that I'm looking for, that string occurs in the string or not. For example, we want to see whether if is in this string, so I'll say this string dot find if, right? So it'll show me whether that exists or not. If it exists, and what is the position where it exists, right? So on and so forth. So that's understood now. Third, we saw str dot count, right? We also saw str dot count, right? So count is going to take, all right, so I will say returns the number of occurrences of substring. Right? For example, I have to find how many times O has occurred in this entire sentence. So that is what I already shown you. Count is there, find is there, and capitalize is there. Why do I show you these things? I show you these things so that you can take note of them. And while watching, please pause the video and take note of them. All right. And please add your own examples also, right, so that it can help you. Do it on your own. DIY is do it yourself, right? So there were some built-in functions, right? So now let me take a look at timings, right? So we still have some good amount of time, but we'll not be able to start. Tomorrow is going to be the most important class. I'll say most important class, right? So we are going to start with right, tomorrow, that is going to be binary, right, or bitwise. So bitwise is going to be the most important class, right? And till the time we complete bitwise, you have to take note of all these things, and you have to get ready for examinations, because Time is going to come after 8 classes, 10 classes, wherein we are going to take for sciences, machine learning, we are going to take only valid student. It's not going to be childish job. What do you think? You want to get paid 4 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees without doing anything? And it's that easy. We are going to give you an opportunity that anyone who completes the course will be placed, inshallah, right, with the grace of Allah, but only when he works hard and as per his institution and as per his instructor. You guys are shy of writing answers to the questions down. How are you going to qualify an interview? Then you blame we don't have jobs, right? So if you are getting an opportunity, grab it with both hands and work and keep the junk outside your brain, so that junk is not going to help you anywhere. If you know how to define it. If you can define it, then and only then they know that you know it. Right? So you got to prepare yourself for exams, for your interviews, and you got to prove yourself an asset, which you are. But yeah, the brain keeps on shaggling here and there. So you need to control your brain and be on right track. Python is a childish job, right? And you adults are going to do it in a very nice manner only if you are patient, only if you're consistent, only if you're working hard and listening to your instructors. But those who are shy, answering questions, they say the instructors are sitting and they have nothing else to do, they are recording classes, right? So I wish them all the best and I wish them get well soon, right? So this is what you have to actually take note of, right? And this is going to help you. So now pause the video and take note of every single thing, right? All right, so now we have to understand few things right here, and out of those few things, what I want you to do, I want to show you something first of all. So now if you want to use idle history, for example, if I say a num1 is equal to 100 and then I say num1 is equal to 100, what is the difference here? So now space here, right? So now you have to understand that we cannot give spaces in variables. Variables can never have space. Can we start variable with underscore? Yes, we can start. You can say underscore num1 is equal to 100. Now you can say underscore num1, I'll get 100. So that is also possible. Can I do this? 1 num1 is equal to 100? No. You cannot start a variable by integer, right? A variable can never start, or a variable name can never start by int. These are very important points. Please take note of them, right? We can start a variable by num underscore by dash num is equal to 100. Yes, we cannot start, right? You can see dash cannot be there, underscore can be there, right? Dash cannot be there. So if I say underscore num1, so I get it. Right, so can I start it with let's say about plus sign, right? Plus num1, no, because it is an operator, it's an addition operator, we cannot do this, right? So now can I do this? Num1 is equal to 100, so I can see, yeah, you can do num1 is equal to 100. Can I do 1 num is equal to 100? No, right? A variable can never start with integer at the beginning. And now second, if I do show you this arrow keys, and if you want to use history, all right, if you want to use history or Python, what I reckon going to is how do you use history? So I will go to, all right, I have to find configure IDLE, right? So it is here. I will go to keys, right? And inside keys I have to find history. Now HIS, right? So you'll find it somewhere in the middle, right? History next, right? And history previous, so that is also there. Now what is history next? Oh, it is alt plus key plus n, so you can change it, right? If you want to change it, you can change it, right? So let's say I want to, for example, change it now, right? So I'll say now get new keys for this selection. So I'll say get new keys for this selection. So what keys do you want? I will say I want let's say about I want up, right? So I want my history to come with let's say about up arrow, so I'll say up arrow. So I'll just click here. Right, so I will see history dash previous, right? So history next is going, oh, I said wrong. History next is going to be key up and history previous is going to be key down. So I can use both. I'll say get slash for new keys. So I will use right down arrow, right? So let us use down arrow. Right, so it's going to be key down and we have key up here. So let me quickly go and apply these settings rather. So I'll say apply, right, and I'll say okay, since now the settings have been applied, all right, so now we'll say the settings have been applied. So let's consider settings have been applied. So now I'll say now history is there. Now you can see that, you can see the history by clicking the arrow up and arrow down. For example, if I write let's say I write list is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40 now, right? And for example, I just happen to forget this closing square brace and I hit enter. What does this indicate, right? This indicates or let me say just a moment. I will say L is equal to, let's say closing bracket is there, 10, 20, 30, 40, and I have some kind of error, any error. For example, you are placing comma at the end. You cannot place it here because you are just finished writing numbers. Now you can see that there is nothing here, right? Now if you want to write it again, so you'll have to write it again. No, I'll click arrow down and I'll get the history. Now you can clearly see arrow down is going to give it to me again and I can edit. So I'll say okay, 50 I forgot. Now arrow down, you're getting it, right? So arrow up, you're getting previous, and arrow down, you're getting next. Now you can see every single thing that we did will be achieved. It can be achieved right here by just loading it through the history, right? Right. So for example, if I say h is equal to hello, so I've written it. Now I click arrow down, I get still, oh, I forgot to write world, then I'll write world. I click arrow down and then I say no, I forgot this exclamatory mark. Then I say, so this is how you can repeat the history. You can clearly see by clicking arrow up and arrow down keys. Meanwhile, it was out of topic. Yeah, many of you are facing difficulties because you have to write things again and again. So that's why I reckon you changing the settings of your keyboard and doing the same. And second thing that you can still do, if I say num1 is equal to 100, right? Then I say num2 is equal to 200, and that's absolutely fine. And then I say sum is equal to num1 plus num2, right? Then I say sum. Now sum is 300, right? Okay, so now what I can say, I'll say use this plus 100. What is this plus 100? This underscore plus 100. 400. Okay, I can use underscore. Now you can see underscore plus underscore. What is underscore plus underscore? 800. Why is it coming? So this means the result of the previous operation. Now what is the result of the previous operation here? 800. So I will say result of the previous operation is 800 and I will say minus 400. Right, so I have to write the result of the previous operation, that is 800 minus 400 is 400, of course. Now what is the result of the previous operation? Not 800, the previous operation is now 400. I'll say underscore plus 100. Now how much is 400, which is taken as underscore here, plus 100, so that is going to be 500. So this is how we can calculate and take the result of previous, or we can take the previous value and start manipulating and doing things with the previous value as well, right? And the third thing that I wanted to tell you is about Python, because I told you that it's going to be a real fun, but yeah, you know, just telling theoreticals every now and again is going to, right, or we can say theoretical without practicals is not going to be something that you can enjoy amidst this COVID-19 lockdown. So I'll have to give you ample amount of practicals, but yeah, doesn't mean that, right, theoreticals are not important, right? So theoreticals are also very important, right? And so you have to understand, because you have to qualify an interview, you have to get ready for examinations, right? So using Python, it can be very interactive, because it's basically a very interactive scripting mode that we are using the same idle, right? And third thing, that you have to understand all the identifiers, right? Because identifiers are variables, functions, classes, objects. You are going to get them slowly and steadily, right? So tomorrow, as I already said, is going to be the most important class, that is binary bitwise. I want you to answer the following question, and do not take aids while answering. We don't have time, right? If you can answer within 2 or 3 hours of the class, so we take your answer. If you're not answering within 2 or 3 hours of the class, we don't take your answer, right? So yesterday's answer, we'll have to go through it, right? Khubair is typing, a format is a pre-established layout of data, right? Absolutely good. So you are right. Okay, how do you take this? I have just taken this taskbar. Okay, let me just take it. Okay, right. So a computer program accepts data input in a certain format, processes it and provides it output, right? So kubab means a format is a pre-established layout or data. That means it means correcting data in a correct format, or it means maybe data in a queue, or maybe in a stack, right? Format means correct order. Yeah, it's a pre-established layout, right? Yeah. A format To format a drive means to prepare the chosen partition of the drive to be used by an operating system by deleting all. This is absolutely wrong, Dar Imtiaz. Absolutely wrong. Format never means deleting. Alright, it's a separate topic that I may like to give you. Nothing is deleted from the drive. Format means creating file system, right? And Abid Kumar, formatting on a computer applies to the storage of devices format. Technically, the process in which location markers are placed in the preamble of the front where magnetic media, so hard disk mechanism. So I say, yeah, Majid and Khubab and Majid has answered correctly. Right, I'm taking those two answers, and I'm taking yours as well, Abid Kumar. But format by no means means deleting the data. Format does not mean that you have to delete the data. What if I say, hey, I'll say, Abid, or I can say, Imtiaz, get up and correct your clothes in the wardrobe. Will you delete your clothes and throw them away? No. Format means my definition. Right? Creating, or we can say format means file system. Right? Format means correcting things in a nice order. Right? Or order, right? Or nicely formatted things. If I say, go to your house and format your kitchen, will you delete your kitchen and throw all the equipment out? No. Right? You're not going to throw each and everything from the kitchen out. Right? So you're going to correct them, right? Maybe, you are going to keep them in a nice stack. You're going to decorate them, right? So that's what formatting means, decorating things, right? So that's what format means. But yeah, formatting the hard drive may seem that it has deleted the data, but you are creating a new file system. Once you're creating a new file system, you are overwriting an old file system of the hard disk, right? So those who will not be able to attend tomorrow's class in 24 hours will be thrown out of the group, and we are going to start a new group for that, right? Please attend tomorrow's class on time. It's going to be Bitwise operators, one of the most important class since the time we have started. So without this class, we will not be able to go forward, right? It's important. So see you guys tomorrow, same time, and please answer quickly, and please answer, correctly on time. So when time passes, nobody is counting your answers, right? So you need to be on time. Your class timings is 1:45, that is 4:30 p.m. every day. So you have to be ready by 4:30 p.m. every day. So mark my words, 4:30 p.m. every day. So answers should be recorded till 10 a.m. early in the morning is the max, right? So I wish you all the best. See you tomorrow. You guys have been nice, right? So wish you good luck and see you tomorrow, right? And yeah, do not forget to answer on time. The today's question is, I did ask question. No, I forgot to ask you the question. How can you answer without me putting the question forward, right? So define bitwise operators in Python, right? Or we can say what are bitwise operators in Python? So this is my question. I want everyone to answer it, and those who do not answer will see the reward of those who are answering will be mesmerized one day, inshallah. So please answer what are bitwise operators in Python, and you are having few hours for that right after you watch the class. Bye bye, take care, and yeah, do remember me in your prayers.